करारविन्देन पदारविन्दं मुकारविन्दे विनिवेशयन्तं वटस्य पत्रस्य पूटेशयानम्
वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचारूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं. Jai Gurudev. Let's go to shloka number 33 today. Sadrushai cheshtate swasya prakrutirjnanavanapi prakritim yanti bhutani nigrahah kinkarishyati. So cheshtate is like they do all their karmas. All these wise men all follow the law of nature. They completely follow what is the law of nature. And even even Bhutani, even all the people, all the beings also, they also have to follow the law of nature. The prakritim yanti bhutani nigraha king karishyati. Nigraha could be like, then why do you do zid? Zid, how will you say in English? Why are you doing this zid? How do you say zid in English? Anyone? Yeah. So then why are you stubborn? Then फिर तुम जिद क्यों कर रहे हो? Like it is like that. Nigraha kin karishyati. Like everything is decided by this prakriti. All the things in this nature or these five elements is decided. A wise man, what he sees that this is a play of the prakriti. This is a play of all the five elements. It is just a play of five elements which he sees. The people also have to follow, the Bhutani, all the Bhut have to follow this tendencies. When this is fixed, then why are you becoming so stubborn, is what it can be said. Like how you can give an example is that you are caught up in a traffic jam, and now in this traffic jam you want to go faster. Is there anything you can do in this traffic jam to go faster? You cannot do anything that you can do. But what the wise man does, the wise man he knows that there is going to be a traffic jam because he has a Google map with himself. So he usually sees the Google map, sees where is this red, and he takes a different route and goes. Or even if he's caught up in the traffic jam, according to the prakriti that has happened, he will have nothing to say. He will just enjoy the traffic jam also. So this is what he says, that cheshtate, all this karma is done by the wise man, understands it as a play of the prakriti. But the Bhutani, they also have to do this. They have to go through the tendencies of the prakriti. So when you have to do this, then is baat pe tum zid kya kar rahe ho? Why are you having this particular kim karishyati? It should be actually, but this is Sanskrit, so king karishyati is how it is. Then the next shloka goes as Indriyasyendriyasyarthe ragadveshau vyavasthitau tayorna vashma gachet tau hyasya paripanthinau. This is a very, very important shloka. Again, in this, it says that the sense organs, that they are caught up with the object of the senses. And what happens, these sense organs actually produce a rag and dvesh. They produce the aversion and pleasure. So, like it says the sense organs have a vyavasthitau. It's like the seat of aversion and pleasure is hidden inside the sense organs. You don't need to understand it like that. You can say the seat of this is hidden inside the mind. Because while I'm talking to you right now, you are watching the screen, you are seeing this laptop or you're seeing your phone, and you're also listening to the thing. But it is only the object which is seeing. The eyes are seeing, the ears are listening, but it is the mind behind it which is grasping, which is listening, which is not listening, which is seeing or looking or not looking and seeing. So it is the mind which is there behind it, which creates the rag and dvesh. Here, before I go to the next, Charan, I would like to say that you remember the 42nd and 43rd shloka of chapter 2. If you see that in chapter 2, we had discussed this, not 42nd, it was 62nd. It is the 62nd shloka. If you remember, that was the 62nd shloka of chapter 2, which had said that dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangaste shupajayate sangat sanjayate kamat kamat krodho vichayate. It had said that dhyayato vishayan pumsa. So here it is exactly the same shloka, little extended, and it says that how does this interest or this come into this being for the, so it says that dhyayato vishayan, when you put full dhyan, when you full attention on some object of the senses, sammohat smriti vibhrama, then this desires start coming into your mind. And then it says smriti bhramshada buddhi nasho buddhi nashat pranachati. And then you must be remembering that particular shloka. We had said that starting point is you put full attention, and then this rag, and then if you want to enjoy this sense object, as soon as you enjoy the sense object, after that, either you never want to do it, you hate it, or you want to indulge in it. A person who hates cigarette or a person who loves cigarette, they are as much both responsible about thinking about cigarette. So here he is saying that raga dvesho vyavasthito, the seat of rag dvesh is hidden, or it's in the indriya, it's the earth. In the indriya only it is hidden. In the sense organs it is hidden. It is hidden. Tayorna vashama gachet. So here is a warning. He says that don't get into their vash, into their clutches. Don't get into their clutches of this. Tau hasya paripanthit now. So this is paripanthi now is like the one who is the enemy, and these are enemies of this knowledge, this infinite, merging with the infinite. These are the main culprits for which you cannot go into that. So he's saying that don't get into their clutches. So this is what it means. And if rag and dvesh have totally taken over you, and if your indriya, if your sense organs rule over you, then your mind or you ruling over them, then it is already a doomed life. It's already a doomed life, because if you remember the 63rd shloka, he had said that buddhi nashat pranashyati. There will be buddhi ka brushed ho jayega. That is where you are going towards. It's a fully doomed life there. And here this is what he's saying. So and we had made a flowchart also for that one. You can go back and see that particular. So it says basically attachment and aversion for the object of the senses abide in the senses itself. Let not come under their sway, for they are your enemies, they are your foes. And if you see, this is how it is. Like the moment if you notice that you see something, let's take for example, you see an ice cream, And there is just the looking at an ice cream, there is something called as a vibration which comes from it. It's almost like tuning into a radio. You remember you used to adjust the station, and then that station, when you adjust, the sound starts coming. It's the wavelengths because of which the sound will start coming. As soon as you look at a sense object, the sense object, suddenly that vibration and the tuning of that starts happening internally. If you have already tasted it, it tells you that you want to acquire it. You want to do it again. You want to taste it. You want to, feel it again. You want to smell it again. You want to taste it again. You want to touch it again. You want to hear. Suddenly this happens in your, automatically that is tuned. Now he says here is, behind this, if you take it, the moment you don't get it, you have aversion. If you like it, it's a pleasure giving object according to you. If you don't get it, you have full aversion, anger, and you can't think. You want to just go and do it, acquire it. And if it is not given you pleasure as much as you had expected that it should give you, now you are angry again over it. So he says, this way, if you are in the wash of your sense objects and they have actually taken over you, they are controlling you, the sense objects are controlling you, then you are doomed, no doubt. And what do they actually do? Paripanthinav. Paripanthinav is a very good word. It says that they are the biggest enemies for you to learn this knowledge. And you will see that all the knowledge which is coming in your way or which you want to implement, you will see that the biggest obstacle is the sense objects and the pleasures. And that because which it produces rag and dvesh. So this is what he says, that either there is a favorable or an unfavorable reaction from the sense objects, and that the sensation is either pleasant or unpleasant. And surprisingly, it is automatic and mechanical also. In the mind, it is set already. So he says here that to be natural is to live as the image of God. Just make sure that you merge with God. So he is guiding him here on this particular Sri Krishna in the war, saying that these two, Rag and Dvesh, are the biggest enemies which are hiding behind the sense objects, and they will not allow you to listen to my knowledge or live this knowledge which I have given you. What a beautiful, if you see, what a beautiful way to describe as a teacher. So first he says all that. First he says that you will get, live this. Then he says, like how they say, Phalastuti. Like Falshruti kya hai? Like he says, if you live this with Shraddha, if you do, you will attain moksha. I'm telling you, you will attain the Paramagati, you will attain moksha. But what will also not allow you to do it? What are the obstacles? He says, this is the biggest obstacle which is there in your life. Its biggest obstacle in the life is because through the sense objects, indriyas yardhe, उसके ही अर्थ में, इंद्रियों के ही अर्थ में, inside the sense object is what is hidden as rag and dvesh. And this will stop you from living this. These are your biggest enemies on this particular path, he says.
Shankar Devam Krishnam Bande